Hello, John Robertson, your volunteer librarian for Oscar, back with another video on eForm creation. This would be video number 2, looking at creating eForms and using code outside of Oscar, but it would also be video number 6 if we include those videos I created where we were looking at the eForm generator. In my last video, we looked at getting rid of the second page for this mood disorder questionnaire, which really is information only and isn't required to be printed. Now, in the last video, we created a link to a second page. And if we click on this link, we see the second page here. Now, we don't necessarily need a link and a second page, especially if we're not going to ever print this second page. So we can, in fact, create a side menu that is an accordion side menu and have all the information readily available, but not need to even use the image from the second page. So to do that, we are actually going to look at the same eForm that I referenced in the previous video to this one. And what we're going to look at in this other eForm is the side panel that was created for this eForm. So there's our side panel there. There's 3 different sections of the accordion. And when we click on one of the sections, we open up and see all the information that's available inside that section. So we can create something like this for our mood disorder questionnaire, and all the information we want will be right there, available if we need it, but without any need for including a second image or having a second page print up. So let's go back to our mood disorder questionnaire. And the first thing we can do is we can get rid of this back page instructions because we're not going to need that anymore. And then we can add in the code for the accordion side panel or side menu. Let's go to our text editor and we'll have a look at our code for our mood disorder questionnaire. And you'll remember that we created the link right here with the anchor, and we're simply just going to delete that. And because we've deleted that, we also no longer need this code in the re-imaging code because we're not going to have a second page. So we can remove this variable here. And instead, we can start adding code for an accordion side menu. If we look to the code for that rapid access clinic psychiatry, we should be able to find the code that specifically references the information required for our accordion. So if we scroll down a little bit here, we'll be able to get to our style for the accordion boxes. And for the panels, we're going to copy this and paste it. I will also mention here that there are some colors here, and we are going to change these colors so that they are similar to the colors already present in our new eForm. These colors actually are the colors that you see commonly in Fraser Health eForms. And so, for instance, this first color here, if we scroll all the way up to the top of my form, I've stored the Fraser Health colors here, and that color is light orange. One of the other colors we're using in this style is the slightly darker orange color, and you'll see that that's present here and here. We're also using the blue color, the darker blue color that is present in some Fraser Health forms. And if we scroll to the top again here, we'll notice that the dark blue is what's selected. Now, I have already stored some colors in the new eForm that we are creating, and so we'll be able to swap out the light orange and the dark orange and the dark blue for the new colors for our new eForm. In fact, let's just copy these right like that and paste them into our mood disorder questionnaire. You can see here that these are the colors I've grabbed actually from the image of the mood disorder questionnaire. And now I'm going to put the Fraser Health colors in, and we can find the Fraser Health colors in our new code and replace them with the colors that we want for this mood disorder questionnaire. Let's go down now to the style for the side panel here. We're going to copy and paste this into our new eForm. We're going to paste that side panel stuff into the screen section. So right there. And we're going to change this, which is dark blue, for our dark blue up here. So we're going to grab that code right there. And we're going to drop it into the side panel right there. Next, we're going to grab the rest of the style code and drop it into our new eForm. And this is our style for the accordion boxes. We're going to grab all of this. And we're going to paste that into here. I'm just quickly going to cut and paste the codes from one to the other. I'll show you the first one and then we'll just do the rest of them behind the scenes. So there's our background color. It's also active for the accordion hover color. And that color is the light orange for Fraser Health. So I'm just going to grab this light orange here and copy that. And now I'm going to search and replace this color with my copied this color. So in Notepad++, if I click on search, replace that color with this color here that I copied, and I click Find Next, and I replace that one, and then it jumps down to the next one, and I replace that one, and now it actually jumps me back to here, but I won't bother replacing that one. I'm just going to do that for the other colors, and then we will move along. Now that I've replaced all those colors, I don't necessarily need this anymore. It's commented out, so it actually isn't going to harm the eForm or the code at all, but we can just simply get rid of it like that. The next thing that we're going to need to do is to grab the code for the side panel itself and some JavaScript for the side panel. If we go back into our Rapid Access Clinic Psychiatry form, and now we scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that this is below the bottom buttons here, and the copy left, and just below the end of the form here. So this is a side panel, and we're going to copy this. And we're also going to copy the JavaScript code that's right here, script to run the accordion. And all of that we're going to paste just below the end of the form in our new eForm. So this is our copy left. This is the end of the form. And we're just going to paste all that stuff we copied into here. We will notice that there's some color in this, and we may want to change the color again to a color that's more appropriate for this eForm. If we go back to our Rapid Access Psychiatry form and double click on that color and go up to the top of this eForm, we'll find out that was a dark blue. So then what we should do is go into our eForm, and let's go up to the top here. This is our darker blue here, so we're going to copy that. We're going to go down below form here, and we're going to search and replace that color as many times as it shows. To replace that with the color I copied from the top, and we'll place it right there, and then it jumps us to this line, and we'll replace that as well, and replace that as well, and then there are no more jumps. So now the colors again fit with our new eForm. Now we haven't done the actual text for the new eForm. We've just put the side panel in. The side panel is 250 pixels wide, and it has a font of 14 pixels. If we go up to our code at the top here, our side panel code shows that we've put the side panel left 755 pixels, so it's going to be just to the left of our code, of our eForm. Let's actually take a look at this now. It's not finished yet, but let's take a look. And if we refresh, we'll see that the back page instructions will go away, and we'll have a side panel instead. And there we go, we have our side panel. Now, it overlaps slightly with here, so we might want to push it over slightly. This, of course, is all the information previously from our old form, so we're going to have to correct this. But at this point, we now have a side panel built into our new form, and we can change the text here. Let's move this over and maybe move it up a little bit, and then we'll change the text. Left 755. Let's do left 760. That worked well for us when we used the link. And then top 50. Let's make the top maybe just 10 and see what it looks like when we've done that. Yeah, that looks more like how we want it lined up. Now we just need to change the text for the panels and the text in the panels. And then we'll have a drop-down list for our new form. So I've gone back to the original PDF and I've opened this up in Adobe Acrobat. And what we're going to do is we're just going to copy and paste the text so that we don't have to type it over again ourselves. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this piece of text right here. And that's the first thing we're going to put into our accordion. If we go back to our code for the side panel, you may remember in this side panel that there was some text down at the bottom here. If we look at the code, that text is right at the bottom here, just before the end of that division, and that division starts right up here. So putting text right at the top, I'm going to want to put it right at the beginning here before this button that's got referral criteria. So I'm actually going to put that piece of text right there before the first accordion button. And looking back here, this how to use, that's going to be the title for my first button, and then how to score is going to be the title for my second button. So let's just copy that. And here where it says referral criteria, I'm going to replace that with how to use. And my ID here, I'm going to change that to use. Now my ID cannot be the same as this ID for my division here. So I'm probably just going to say, let's use how instead of use. But I can use an ID and a name the same. So I'm going to put how right there. And now I'm going to start putting the text in here. Just a quick note, this B inside of the angle brackets is bold. This BR is a break, so a line break. This is an unordered list, and this is a list item. So all of these things can be used inside. If we, instead of doing a B here, if we do an I here, that's italic. And if we do a U, it's underlined. So let's go back to our PDF. We're going to put this text into where we had the bold and the breaks. So there we go. And then we can grab the rest of the text like that. And we can put that right into this spot here. And we actually won't need the unordered list and list items. We don't need any more of this stuff inside this panel. So we're going to get rid of all of that. Let's just clean the spacing up here. And we'll save this. And now let's see what we've got here. We'll refresh this. The instrument is designed. There we go. So that text, we put that in the beginning. And then how to use. Questionnaire takes less than 5 minutes to complete. This is a little bit more bold. And that text is all in there. We'll go along and do another one here. We'll probably get rid of that and get rid of that. And then we'll have a look at what our new accordion looks like. And here we are with the full code. We now have how to use, and we have how to score, and we now have a menu that will work well for us. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful for you. See you with the next video.